Beetlejuice Beetlejuice scares up to 110 million and second biggest September debut in history. All right, guys, it's time for the box office. We got to talk about the money. We got to talk about the money. Like I said, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice just opened up in theaters. It is the sequel to the original film that came out decades ago by Tim Burton. And it's pretty popular. A lot of people are a fan of this franchise, but I am not, to be honest with you, and I passed on the film, but let's see what it did its opening weekend at the box office. This is coming from Variety. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice scares up to 110 million and second biggest September debut in history. That is what's up right there. That is a hell of a headline. Did somebody say Beetlejuice? Named 3 times. Either way, the mischievous demon triumphantly returned to unleash his mayhem at the box office. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, the sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 horror comedy about a pesky poltergeist, scored a huge 110 million from 4,575 theaters in its opening weekend. Those ticket sales rank as the second biggest September debut of all time, ahead of 2019's It Chapter 2 at $91 million, and only behind 2017's It at $123 million debut. All 3 of those September record holders belong to Warner Brothers. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is also the year's 3rd best bow, coming in behind Deadpool and Wolverine's $211.4 million and Inside Out's $154.2. The film delivered a needed jolt to the domestic box office, which was lagging after a humdrum end to the summer season. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice also debuted internationally with $35.4 million, bringing its global tally to $145.4 million, and the film cost $100 million to produce. And guys, like I said, when we always talking about the money, it doesn't really matter what the film opens to if it doesn't make any money. And, you know, we got to look at that. That's the most important thing. Was this film profitable? Well, if we look over at Box Office Mojo, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, like they said, 110 domestic, 35 international, and $145 million worldwide. If the film did gross, no, not gross, but if the film did cost $100 million to produce, we like to do the rule of 3 over here. You know, you can do 2.5, but of course I like the rule of 3. 100 times 3 is 300. In my opinion, the film needs to gross at least $300 million worldwide for the studios to feel like, hey, you know, not only did we did we profit $1, you know, or more than $1, you know, it was actually worth our time, you know, because they gross much more than that. Now, what I'm looking at right now on IMDb is the release schedule for the whole film. I don't think this opened up day and date. That means across the board around the world all at the same time, because the box office for the international is only $35 million. It may not have opened in a ton of territories, but I want to see. So I'm going to click this right here. And okay, so it opened August 28th earlier than over here in Italy, and all of these other places September 4th and 5th. And today's date is September 8th. So let's see how many territories it has already opened in. And it seems like pretty much all of them. So, okay, so we have a few. Okay, so not that many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 territories. 5 territories. The film will open up on Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday. So, you know, I'm not going to look up what the average box office is from each of those countries, but that's important too, because, you know, that could give the international a little boost in the middle of the week just to see how much this film is going to make. But that's where it is right now, at $145 million worldwide, 110 opening, $100 million to produce. This is a sensational open for a comedy sequel 36 years after the first film, says David A. Gross, who runs the movie consulting firm Franchise Entertainment Research. In 1988, Beetlejuice was an offbeat story that started slowly and over subsequent weeks became a hit. This time, audiences know what to expect, and offbeat looks even better next to the usual storylines. It's a mainstream smash. Okay, they're talking about nostalgia. The original Beetlejuice became one of the highest-grossing movies of 1988, with $74.7 million, and later inspired a Tony-nominated Broadway musical. Have you guys seen the musical? Or I did not. I did that. That one missed me right there. But I may have somebody in the audience that was able to check it out. Unlike legacy sequels or reboots like Twisters or Wonka, which featured entirely new ensembles, Beetlejuice features many familiar faces from the netherworld. So Burton, Winona Ryder, Lydia Dietz, Catherine O'Hara, Jenna Ortega is new, Willem Dafoe. All these people in the movie, is it good? Who in the chat has seen Beetlejuice? Let me know. Now, let's talk about what Marvel is doing. Disney's Marvel sequel, Deadpool and Wolverine, slid to a second place with $7.2 million. And $7.2 million, I think this is his 6th or 7th week. That's nothing to sneeze at either. This film just keeps growing and growing and growing. Will it make $1.3 billion at the box office? I don't know. I sure hope it will. But it still has 3,400 theaters in its 7th weekend of release. The already smashed starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman has generated a mammoth $614 million domestically and $1.287 billion. It's the second biggest movie of the year and 23rd largest of all time. That's what's up right there. Now, let's go ahead and look at that a little bit more as far as Deadpool's box office is concerned. $1.287 million. And it made, what was the weekend here? Another $7 million, $7.2 million. And so it started at 4,200 theaters. Now it is at 3,400. So that's interesting. And it hasn't crossed $1.3 billion yet. But I just want to see how close it is. So bam, minus 1287237,740. $12 million. $12 million away. So let's just round up to 13 million bucks. Will it gain $13 million? Think 13 more million. Now, this weekend brought in another 7. And there was a 53% drop. So if it's just another 50%, what was that, $3.6 million? So you'll need 10 more. And, of course, we got international as well. I just wanted to cross 1.3, just to cross a milestone. It doesn't have to. The film is already successful, but I just think it's cool when, these films cross those milestones. But, man, Deadpool and Wolverine is killing it. Reagan. Did anybody see this with Dennis Quaid? The Dennis Quaid led biopic Reagan remained at number 3 with $5.2 million from 2770 theaters in its sophomore outing. The film, which charts the life of Ronald Reagan, has generated $18.5 million to date. Okay, who has seen it? Alien Romulus and It Ends With Us rounded out the top 5. Alien Romulus added another $3.2 million from 2,500 locations over the weekend after a month release, has collected $97.2 million domestically and $314 million worldwide. And so there you go right there, guys. That is the box office. But Deadpool and Wolverine is doing fantastic. Beetlejuice is doing fantastic. And so shout out to those two. The new this week is in yellow. So Beetlejuice opened at number 1. Deadpool and Wolverine is number 2. Reagan is number 3. Alien Romulus is number 4. It Ends With Us is number 5. The Forge is number 6. Twisters is number 7. Okay, that's been there for a while. Blink Twice is number 8. Despicable Me is number 9. And The Front Room I thought we didn't even talk about The Front Room. I'm tripping. That is Brandy's new film. That opened up to number 10 at the box office at $1 million. I heard it's from A24, 2,000 theaters. I heard the film was not good. There was no screeners. I doubt this is going to be released worldwide, but $1 million for The Front Room. You know, shout out to Elliot with Movie Files. He had a review on his channel, and he said there was a lot of poop in the film. But I don't imagine that this was a lot of money to make. What was the budget for The Front Room? Has anybody seen The Front Room? Okay. So there's no budget there. But that's the top 10. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat about the box office. It should reach 300 plus million. It only competes with The Killer's Game, Bautista next week, and then the animated Transformers after that. Okay. And you may be right, sir. And actually, I didn't even see what the critical response was. So I'm tripping. What did Beetlejuice have? Okay, so a 70 certified fresh from the critics and 82 from the audiences. So people liked it. So it will, at the very least, it'll have some word of mouth. And what did Cinema Score say? Beetlejuice B+. That is not the best. And damn, The Front Room got a C-. Yikes. Yikes, yikes. You know, 1992 got a A-. I need to check that out. What did The Front Room get on Rotten Tomatoes? 51%. 35 reviews, and the audience didn't like it either. So that's interesting. But Beetlejuice, yeah, it most likely will make the 300 million. So we're just going to have to see. We're just going to have to see. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, again, that is the box office for Beetlejuice. And if you are interested in the article, there is a link for it in the description box below for you to read at your own leisure.